See you on a God. Hello all. It's just a he. Good evening and what. Thank you for watching. So this is day 4, part B of reading Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, an Inquiry into Values by Robert M. Pirsig. I had to cut the other short by I don't know if that was just under 5 minutes because I had to put my mom hat on. My daughter was calling, needing some help. So need to talk some things through, get some, advice, adult to adult and stuff. And, just kind of discuss next steps and things that for what's going on with her at the moment. She had to kind of step up and do some adulting things out of the blue that we're all kind of like, oh. But anyway, everything happens for a reason, right? Anyhow, kind of those things where you're like dealing with the boss, that's not so, I don't know how to put it, not ideal, okay? Anyway, but the world as, okay, here we go. So I'm going to back it up. The world as you see it right here, right now, is reality, regardless of what the scientists say it might be. That's the way John sees it, but the world as revealed by its scientific discoveries is also reality, regardless of how it may appear. And people in John's dimension are going to have to do more than just ignore it if they want to hang on to their vision of reality. John will discover this if his points burn out. That's really why he got upset that day when he couldn't get his engine started. It was an intrusion on his reality. It just blew a hole right through his whole groovy way of looking at things, and he would not face up to it because it seemed to threaten his whole lifestyle. In a way, he was experiencing the same sort of anger scientific people have sometimes about abstract art, or at least used to have. That didn't fit their lifestyle either. What you've got here, really are two realities. One of immediate artistic appearance and one of underlying scientific explanation. And they don't match and they don't fit and they don't really have much of anything to do with one another. That's quite a situation. You might say there's a little problem here. At one stretch in the long, desolate road, we see an isolated grocery store. Inside and back, we find a place to sit on some packing cases and drink canned beer. The fatigue and backache are getting to me now. I push the packing case over to a post and lean on that. Chris's expression shows he is really settling into something bad. This has been a long, hard day. I told Sylvia way back in Minnesota that we could expect a slump in spirits like this on the 2nd or 3rd day, and now it's here, Minnesota. When was that? A woman badly drunk is buying beer for some man she's got outside in a car. She can't make up her mind what brand to buy, and the wife of the owner waiting on her is getting mad. She still can't decide, but then sees us and weaves over and asks if we own the motorcycles. We nod yes. Then she wants a ride on one. My lord. I move back and let John handle this. He puts her off graciously, but she comes back again and again, offering him $1 for a ride. I make some jokes about it, but they're not funny and just add to the depression. We get out and back into the brown hills and heat again. By the time we reach Lemon, Lemmon, we are really aching tired. At a bar, we hear about a campground to the south. John wants to camp in a park in the middle of Lemon, a comment that sounds strange and angers Chris greatly. I'm more tired now than I can remember, having been in a long time, the others too, but we drag ourselves through a supermarket, pick up whatever groceries come to mind, and with some difficulty pack them onto the cycles. The sun is so far down, we're running out of light. It'll be dark in an hour. We can't seem to get moving. I wonder, are we dawdling or what? Come on, Chris, let's go, I say. Don't holler at me. I'm ready. We drive down a country road from Lemon, exhausted for what seems a long, long time, but can't be too long because the sun is still above the horizon. The campsite is deserted. Good. But there is less than a half hour of sun and no energy left. This is the hardest now. I try to get unpacked as fast as possible, but am so stupid with exhaustion. I just set everything by the camp road without seeing what a bad spot it is. Then I see it is too windy. This is a high plains wind. It is semi-desert here. Everything burned up and dry except for a lake, a large reservoir of some sort below us. The wind blows from the horizon across the lake and hits us with sharp gusts. It is already chilly. There are some scrubby pines back from the road about 20 yards, and I ask Chris to move the stuff over there. He doesn't do it. He wanders off down to the reservoir. I carry the gear over by myself. I see between trips that Sylvia is making a real effort at setting things up for cooking, but she's as tired as I am. The sun goes down. John has gathered wood, but it's too big, and the wind is so gusty it's hard to start. It needs to be splintered into kindling. I go back over to the scrub pines, hunt around through the twilight for the machete. But it's already so dark in the pines, I can't find it. I need the flashlight. I look for it, but it's too dark to find that either. I go back and start up the cycle and ride it back over to shine the headlight on the stuff so that I can find the flashlight. Oh, man. Yeah, I've had to move a vehicle to just cut the lights on to see something, to then get something to see something else. Anyway, I look through all the stuff, item by item, to find the flashlight. It takes a long time to realize I don't need the flashlight. I need the machete, which is in plain sight. Oh my God. Yeah, that's great. Making decisions really tired. Like what? Anyway, by the time I get it back, John has got the fire going. I use the machete to hack up some of the larger pieces of wood. Chris reappears. He's got the flashlight. Oh my God. Totally real life, right? It sounds like me and my hamster, but anyway. When are we going to eat? He complains. We're getting it fixed as fast as possible, I tell him. Leave the flashlight. Leave the flashlight here, he says. Oh, man. He disappears again, taking the flashlight with him. Oh, Lord. The wind blows the fire so hard it doesn't reach up to cook the steaks. Also reminds me of my dad, the people that he was with, like the ladies that he would be romantically involved with, right, over time. They would be oblivious, walk off with something that he literally needed, you know, or something that he just asked to go all the way out. Because before cell phones, right, they go all the way out to where he was. And he's like, I've been hollering it, right? Oh, well, and then they get their feelings hurt, and it's like, what? Whereas for me, if he hollered something, I'd stand and stop, close my eyes and listen, hear him repeat it again, go get what he needed and run it out. Them, they just be like, you know, I heard you holler, or whatever, right? And he's like, geez, you know, this is in the house, you were just in there, you know. Anyway. Or on your way out, can you do whatever? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then they completely space, kind of like those blonde moments or something, but they weren't blonde. The wind blows the fire so hard it doesn't reach up to cook the steaks. Oh, dang. We try to fix up a shelter from the wind, using large stones from the road, but it's too dark to see what we're doing. Because the old dude's got the flashlight. We bring both cycles over and catch the scene in a crossbeam of headlights, peculiar light. Bits of ash blowing up from the fire suddenly glow bright white in it and disappear in the wind. Bang! There's a loud explosion behind us. Then I hear Chris giggling. Sylvia is upset. I found some firecrackers, Chris says. Good Lord. I catch my anger in time and say to him coldly, it's time to eat now. I need some matches, he says. Sit down and eat. Give me some matches first. Good Lord. What's this kid doing? Sit down and eat. He sits down and I try to eat the steak with my army mess knife, but it's too tough. And so I get out a hunting knife and use it instead. The light from the motorcycle headlight is full upon me so that the knife, when it goes down into the mess gear, is in full shadow and I can't see where it's going. Chris says he can't cut his either and I pass the knife to him. While reaching in for it, he dumps everything onto the tarp. No way. No one says a word. I'm not angry that he spilled it. I'm angry that now the tarp's going to be greasy the rest of the trip. Is there any more? He asks. Eat that, I say. It just fell on the tarp. It's too dirty, he says. Well, that's all there is. A wave of depression hits. I just want to go to sleep now, but he's angry and I expect we're going to have one of his little scenes. I wait for it and pretty soon it starts. I don't like the taste of this, he says. Yes, that's rough, Chris. I don't like any of this. I don't like this camping at all. It was your idea, Sylvia says. You're the one who wanted to go camping. She shouldn't say that, but there's no way she can know. You take his bait, and he'll feed you another one, and then another and another until you finally hit him, which is what he really wants. That's terrible. I don't care, he says. Well, you ought to, she says. Well, I don't. An explosion point is very near. Sylvia and John look at me, but I remain deadpan. I bet. I'm sorry about this, but there's nothing I can do right now. Any argument will just worsen things. Know anybody like that? Because I know quite a few people. Anyway. I'm not hungry, Chris says. No one answers. My stomach hurts, he says. Oh my gosh. The explosion is avoided when Chris turns and walks away in the darkness. When we finish eating, I help Sylvia clean up, and then we sit around for a while. We turn the cycle lights off to conserve the batteries, and because the light from them is ugly anyway. The wind has died down some, and there is a little light from the fire. After a while, my eyes become accustomed to it. Yep, they do. The food and anger have taken off some of the sleepiness. Chris doesn't return. Do you suppose he's just punishing? Sylvia asks. I suppose, I say, although it doesn't sound quite right. I think about it and add, that's a child psychology term, a context I dislike. Let's just say he is being a complete bastard. Oh my God. Dude, I used to like really try to help people like that. And then finally I realized, I got to cut those people loose. Right? Oh man, because there's literally no help in them. Like, unless they're ready to be helped and they're ready to change. And so yeah, I was like a fixer. And then I got some boundaries over the years, and then really got some boundaries in like 2021. And yeah, I'm just not up for the bullcorn anymore. You know what I mean? I ain't going around and around and around and around the same bush. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just ain't doing that. Nope. Anyway, John laughs a little. Anyway, I say, it was a good supper. I'm sorry he had to act up like this. Oh, that's all right, John says. I'm just sorry he won't get anything to eat. It won't hurt him. You don't suppose he'll get lost out there? No, he'll holler if he is. Now that he was gone and we have nothing to do, I become more aware of the space all around us. There is not a sound anywhere. Lone prairie. Sylvia says, do you suppose he really has stomach pains? Yes, I say, somewhat dogmatically. Excuse me, I'm sorry to see the subject continued, but they deserve a better explanation than they're getting. They probably sense that there's more to it than they've heard. I'm sure he does, I finally say. He's been examined half a dozen times for it. Once it was so bad, we thought it was appendicitis. I remember we were on vacation up north. I just finished getting out an engineering proposal for a $5 million contract that just about did me in. That's a whole other world. No time and no patience and 600 pages of information to get out the door in 1 week. And I was about ready to kill 3 different people, and we thought we'd better head for the woods for a while. I can hardly remember what part of the woods we were in. This is what he was telling. Wait, no, where's the... Oh, I guess he's just continuing it. Still in quotes. I don't see the end quote. But it's weird because it's like one of those things where they start the quotes off and then they just continue going, and then they skip and they go to the next paragraph and they start with a new fresh quote. So it's like, wait a minute, did I miss it somewhere? I could hardly remember what part of the woods we were in. Head just spinning with engineering data. And anyway, Chris was just screaming. We couldn't touch him until I finally saw I was going to have to pick him up fast and get him to the hospital. And where that was, I'll never remember, but they found nothing. Nothing? No. But it happened again on other occasions too. Don't they have any idea? Sylvia asked. This spring, they diagnosed it as the beginning symptoms of mental illness. What? John says. It's too dark to see Sylvia or John now, or even the outlines of the hills. I listen for sounds in the distance, but hear none. I don't know what to answer, and so say nothing. When I look hard, I can make out stars overhead, but the fire in front of us makes it hard to see them. The night all around is thick and obscure. My cigarette is down to my fingers, and I put it out. I didn't know that, Sylvia's voice says. All traces of anger are gone. We wondered why you brought him instead of your wife, she says. I'm glad you told us. John shoves some of the unburned ends of the wood into the fire. Sylvia says, "What do you suppose the cause is?" John's voice rasps as if it cut off. But I answer, "I don't know. Causes and effects don't seem to fit. Causes and effects are a result of thought. I would think mental illness comes before thought. This doesn't make sense to them, I'm sure. It doesn't make much sense to me, and I'm too tired to try to think it out and give up." What did the psychiatrist think? John asked. "Nothing. I stopped it." Stopped it? Yes. Is that good? I don't know. There's no rational reason I can think of for saying it's not good, just a mental block of my own. I think about it and all the good reasons for it and make plans for an appointment and even look for the phone number. And then the block hits and it's just like a door slammed shut. That doesn't sound right. No one thinks so either. I suppose I can't hold out forever. But why? Sylvia asked. I don't know why. It's just that I don't know. They're not kin. Surprising word, I think to myself, never used it before. Not of kin. Sounds like hillbilly talk. Not of a kind. Same root. Kindness too. They can't have real kindness toward him. They're not his kin. That's exactly the feeling. Old word, so ancient, it's almost drowned out. What a change through the centuries. Now anybody can, quote unquote, kind, and and everybody's supposed to be, except that long ago it was something you were born into and couldn't help. Now it's just a faked up attitude half the time, like teachers the first day of class. Oh yeah, but what do they really know about kindness who are not kin? But even kin ain't kind, you know what I mean? Like, they'll smile on your face and like do all sorts of stuff, lie on you, like do whatever, manipulate, use and abuse you and all that, whatever, right? But come holiday time, oh, or if they want something, oh, hey, how you doing, right? No, cut them people out too. It goes over and over again through my thoughts. Mine, M-E-I-N, kind, my child. There it is, another language. Mine, kinder. Or is it mine, kinder? K-I-N-D-E-R. And then in quotes it says W-E-R, so ver, write it. R-E-I-T-E-T, so spat, dirch, nacht und vend. Es ist der Vater mit seinem Kind. Strange feeling from that. What are you thinking about? Sylvia asked. An old poem by Goethe, G-O-E-T-H-E. It must be 200 years old. I had to learn it a long time ago. I don't know why I should remember it now, except the strange feeling comes back. How does it go? Sylvia asked. I try to recall. A man is riding along a beach at night through the wind. It's a father with his son whom he holds fast in his arms. He asks his son why he looks so pale, and the son replies, "Father, don't you see the ghost?" The father tried to reassure the boy it's only a bank of fog along the beach that he sees, and only the rustling of the leaves in the wind that he hears, but the son keeps saying it is the ghost, and the father rides harder and harder through the night. How does it end? In failure, death of the child, the ghost wins. The wind blows light up from the coals, and I see Sylvia look at me startled. But that's another land, another time, I say. Here life is the end, and ghosts have no meaning. I believe that. I believe in all this too, I say, looking out at the darkened prairie, although I'm not sure of what it all means yet. I'm not sure of much of anything these days. Maybe that's why I talk so much. The coals die lower and lower. We smoke our last cigarettes. Chris is off somewhere in the darkness, but I'm not going to shag after him. John is carefully silent, and Sylvia is silent, and suddenly we're all separate, alone, in our private universes, and there is no communication among us. We douse the fire and go back to the sleeping bags in the pines. I discover that this one tiny refuge of scrub pines where I have put the sleeping bags is also the refuge from the wind of millions of mosquitoes up from the reservoir. The mosquito repellent doesn't stop them at all. I crawl deep into the sleeping bag and make one little hole for breathing. I'm almost asleep when Chris finally shows up. We'll leave it at that.
Donde go, gente, que viene, que chas, que te meet again, love you, mean it.